And welcome back, everyone, to this special episode of TED Talk Stamps. This is my fifth anniversary episode. I'm a little bit late with it. Uh, my anniversary was actually February 8th, and that's my fifth anniversary of being here on YouTube, which surprised me. I got the notification email from YouTube. Congratulations, your fifth anniversary. Well, I knew my anniversary was coming up. I thought it was 3, maybe 4 years. I saw 5 years. Holy mackerel! This time has just flown by, and I have all of you folks out there to thank for it. Uh, Without your support, I couldn't have made it this far. This has been a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to the next 5 years. So we'll just keep chugging ahead. And to start off, let me share you a postcard I just received a couple of days ago. And this came from Richard Philatelist. Card from Richard Philatelist from Denbigh, Wales. And Denbigh is a famous market town, and Denbigh in the Welsh language means little fortress, and that is because of Castle Denbigh here shown on the front picture side. And that castle dates back all the way to the year 1282. And on the back side, let's see, a lot of glare. There we go. Richard's given me a little self-portrait in front of his stamp collection. So thanks a lot, Richard. Richard Philatelist. Richard, of course, many of you know, has a YouTube philately channel also. You can find him. Just put in the search bar, Richard Philatelist. And in his latest video, he explains all about how international mail works. So if you haven't discovered Richard's YouTube channel, well, wait a few minutes until this one is done, and then go check him out. So the main event of this episode is I have checked out quite a few different stamp identification apps. This was one of my requests for a future episode. So I went to the App Store on Apple and downloaded all of the stamp identification apps I could find, and there were 9 worldwide identification apps and one that was United States only. And just a note of explanation, my intent was to actually show the apps in action, where you could see me taking a picture or uploading the app and going through the motions, but that was too hard to get good pictures and get good lighting and to show the screen and whatnot. So I just took screenshots of every step along the way, and you'll see it's a lot better presentation that way. You can see here my phone screen showing the 9 apps. The 10th one is on the next page, and that's actually the one I'll be starting with, the US only app. And that app looks like this when you first open it. They've added new stamps since when, I don't know. But anyways, getting to the nitty-gritty on this screen, I didn't get into the apps in depth. I was only interested in the identification aspects of them. So I don't know what you're supposed to do with this grid of stamps here. And I don't know what any of these filters do. All I know is that this one, the camera icon here, you click on that and it will take you to the identification screen. Although it first gives you the NAG screen to buy the app, which is $25 a year or $4 a month if you want to go on the monthly basis. So the way it works, all of the apps had the option for you to take a picture right then of the stamp or to upload an image of the stamp you already had on the phone. So that's the route I went. I picked out my 7 stamps and I I just uploaded them each time. So here's a 8-cent airmail stamp, and you'll fit the move the green corners, grab the handles, and resize it to get the to crop the stamp, get out any extraneous margins or whatever. You want to get uh, basically just the image, the design of the stamp within the window, and then click on the green identify button, and it'll go through this cycle, identifying, and it identified the stamp basically because it wants to know, do you have a 10.5 by 11 perf, or do you have a horizontally perfed stamp, a coil stamp? So you choose which one, 10.5 by 11 in this case, 10.5 horizontal by 11 perf gauge vertically. And the next page will tell you that is the 1962 8-cent jet airliner over Capitol. And the third line down, you can see it gives you the Scott catalog number C64. So very good. Oh, then on the next screen, you can click on eBay prices. It'll take you to current listings on eBay, which you'll have to find the appropriate listing that matches your stamp. Next, I tried this blackjack, the 2-cent Andrew Jackson. Fit the stamp in the window and then click on the green identify button, and it identified the stamp and still wants to know a little more information. For a positive ID, does your stamp have a grill? No, this one is not grilled. And what about the type of paper? Is it standard or hard white? This one is standard paper, and it's identified as the 1863 2-cent Andrew Jackson, catalog number 73. And then my third stamp for this one was a 50-cent Colombian, and click on identify. And this time it found 3 stamps which it thinks are this stamp could possibly be. Click on touch the one you want. In this case, of course, the first one. And now it's identified it as the 1893 50-cent Colombian, catalog number 240. That's all I tried with this app. Basically, they have all the stamps cataloged, so it's no problem for it to find the correctly identified stamp. Now, you can see you do get a 7-day free trial with this app before they charge you. So that's good. You can put it through its paces and see how well it works. So that app works pretty well for US only. But of course, most people need worldwide identification, and so I'll get to those next. Like I said, I've got 9 apps for worldwide stamp identification. I didn't really rank them from 9 to 1 because, to be frank, there was only 2 that I found that were worth beans. So there was no need to rank them. The first 7 I'm going to go through, they all failed pretty much. Although I really couldn't put them through detailed testing because they had very limited trial capabilities. Only got 2 or 3 stamp IDs before they started nagging you to buy the app, and you couldn't get any more freebies. So first up is this app called Stamp Scan. And this one failed right off the bat because it didn't offer any kind of free trial. No 3 free days or no 3 free scans. Uploaded a stamp image, and the next screen just takes you right to the payment screen. So I wasn't able to test it at all. So that one's a hard pass. And one thing with these stamp identifier apps is they're all really creative with their app names. They're all called stamp identifier. So to make it easier to identify which app I'm talking about, I named them all by the stamp shown on their logo. So this next app is called Stamp Identifier Flag. And here's the first screen you come to when you open the app. Go to the next one. It just tells you the features. You can check the pricing. You can also rate them. This is another thing I found with these apps. You haven't even done one test with it yet, and they're telling you to rate the app. The next screen, and the price is $29.99 a year. This one does give you a 1-week free trial. So let's start identifying. So I uploaded this stamp from my photo gallery on the phone, and you see it doesn't fit the whole stamp in. At any rate, the Jefferson stamp below, that's just a quickly flashing by the busy signal. It's flashing by a bunch of different stamp images while it's working on identifying your stamp. And the result is that it did identify it as a Clemenceau stamp. However, it is such basic, not very useful information, as it just says it's a postage stamp featuring a ship and a portrait of Clemenceau issued on January 17th, 1939, which that is inscribed on the stamp, so that it's not telling you anything new. And it was used for sending mail during the time it was issued. Wow, well, that's good to know. There's not many stamps that were used for sending mail, right? Let's see, at the bottom of the screen. Okay, the historical period is 1939. The color is blue and cream. It's from France. Materials, paper. Now down here it says reference images, but I don't know what that's supposed to show. It's showing three non-related, irrelevant images. So I, I don't know what the reference is supposed to be. The next stamp was this one from Ireland. I put this one in there because the whole stamp is just these colored dots like this all the way across. So I figured that would be a pretty good test for these apps. And it seems to have identified it as an Ireland 1973 postage stamp. Again, it's a postage stamp featuring a colorful dot pattern with the text indicating origin and date. So it wasn't a rough stretch to identify this as Ireland 1973. Scrolling down to the bottom of that page, it does say the historical period. Notice it doesn't say issue date, it says historical period, which is a good guess since that's what's inscribed on the stamp. And it's in the colors of orange, red, purple, and blue. Again, reference images that have no relation to the stamp, so I don't know what you're supposed to get out of that. Next stamp was this German stamp, Germania, with a Belgium overprint. It was from the German occupation of Belgium in 1919, and it identified it as a Belgian stamp with at the bottom, you'll see it says it has a price range of $5 to $50, which is not useful at all. The historical period is the World War I era, so it cannot identify the year of issue. It identified the colors, red, black, and cream. Wow, good for it. And that it's made out of paper. And again, we have reference images that do not bear any relation to the stamp. The next one was this Austrian stamp, well, an Italian stamp issued during Italy's occupation of some Austrian territory. And it's identified it as a Centesimi di Corona stamp. Good job there, huh? Valued at from $10 to $20. Not. And the historical period is early 20th century. So I don't know what a collector is supposed to do with that bit of information. And more useless reference images. Next was this stamp of Sweden with a nice CDS cancel on it. Oh, it's identified it as a 50 stamp. Very good. It can't even tell you that it's from Sweden. Scroll down. Oh, well, it does say used in Sweden. And it's valued at $10 to $50. Historical period, 19th century, irrelevant images. So really, I'm not impressed with this app right now. Let's go on to the next stamp. This was another stamp of France with this seal of friendship. And it identified it as a 1 franc 75 stamp. Very good. And it features a design with hands shaking and an olive branch. And it served as a commemorative issue post World War I. Oh, well, that's probably the most detailed information we've gotten for a particular stamp so far. Historical period 1918. Well, what? No, this is not a stamp from 1918. And the three reference images, again, bear no relation to the stamp. Now here's one. It's actually two stamps. It's a Belgium overprinted airmail stamp there with early Belgium number 14 overlaid over it. When I first started scanning the stamps for this project, I put that Belgium airmail stamp in the background, the overprinted one, on the scanner bed and scanned it, not realizing that Belgium number 14 there, old King Leopold, was already on the scanner bed. And when I looked at the images, they were superimposed like this. I decided to check it anyways, and lo and behold, Connect found an exact match right off the bat. So I said, wow, I wonder if any of these other apps can do it. Well, this one could not find it. So then I stuck in a U.S. airmail stamp, an 8-cent airmail airplane over Capitol Dome, and it did identify it as a U.S. airmail stamp. Very good. Like we couldn't figure that much out. Historical period, 1950s. It would be nice if they could identify the year a little better than that. And three more irrelevant images. So that app, I call that a fail. You got very little to no useful information out of it. So that was the Stamp Identifier Flag app. About the only good thing I can say about it is that there is a 7-day free trial period, so you can run it through more paces, see if it is actually useful for your own purposes. So I'll go on to the next one now, which is called Stamp AI. So we'll see how real its artificial intelligence is. Open it up, and you are greeted with this screen. Okay, so let's pick a stamp image from our photo gallery. Click on Gallery and choose a stamp. Okay, I chose the Ireland stamp. You can see the whole stamp now. So let's click on Identify Stamp. Uh-oh, looky there. You don't even get one free test with it. To identify the stamp, you'll have to purchase the app for $5.99 a week or $39.99 a year, which is supposedly 87% off. A bit more expensive than the previous app we saw. That was like, what, $24.99 a year, $3.99 a week. Again, this will be a hard pass because I can't check it out at all. So Stamp AI is a hard fail for me. Anyway, so I'll go on. Let's go on with Stamp Scanner. Oh, look, they call it Stamp Scanner instead of Stamp Identifier. But I've also put FDR for the FDR stamp. And as soon as you open it, you are greeted with the purchase page, which is $4.99 a week, which is on the upper end again, or monthly for $12.99 a month, or $49.99 a year. Let's continue to the next screen, and you are greeted with this page where you want to identify the stamp. Click on Identify, and you choose whether you want to take a picture with the camera or upload it from your gallery. Again, I'm going to upload it from my phone gallery, put the Ireland stamp in there, and you see it below that, you see that scale with the 0 in the middle. That is a de-skewing. You can drag the center line left or right to rotate the stamp to line it up better within the rectangle. And now we're scanning the stamp, and it says, wow, that top image is its best match, which doesn't even come close to looking like the stamp. Below that are three more guesses, which again are not even stamps. So there is a hard fail on the Ireland stamp. Going to the next one, we put the Clemenceau battleship stamp in there. It's scanning the stamp, and it did identify the stamp there at the top as a 1939 Clemenceau military night stamp from France. Below that are three of its next best guesses, which of course are incorrect. And you'll notice there's no information beyond the year of issue, a 1939 stamp. The next stamp was the France Seal of Friendship stamp, and that was all I was able to get out of the Stamp Scanner FDR app. Just two stamp identification trials before it wants you to pay. And of course, there's no free version either. So we'll go on to the next app. Stamp Identifier Lincoln. Opening up the app, we're first greeted with this page. They claim to be the #1 stamp ID app. And that'll only cost you $4.99 a week, $9.99 a month, or $39.99 a year. Continue on to the next screen. That's a nothing screen. Yeah, it's just propaganda. Continue. It's just giving you examples of when it finds a stamp. It'll tell you the value, and it's got information for 1 million plus stamps from 200 countries. Continuing on, help us grow. Well, only if you help me identify the stamps, okay? You can unlock, well, you already told us this before. Talk about nagging. Okay, so here's our working screen now. Let's click on Identify Now, and you're greeted with this square from which you can take a picture with the camera, framing it within that square, or click on the icon below for the image to upload one from your phone. And there's our trusty Ireland stamp I uploaded. Again, this one, similar to the previous app, has the de-skewing function. And it's identifying, it's working. And oops, our server's having problems. Well, okay. Let's try it again. And this time it came up with the same results as that previous app. The same picture was its best match. And these other spurious results, just like the previous app. So we tried again now with the Clemenceau Battleship stamp, and this one did come up with a good match for it. The 1939 Clemenceau stamp from France is part of the Military Knights series. And scrolling down to the bottom, there's another image of the same stamp. So then I went on to the next one. Here's the two stamps that are overlaid. And again, we're limited to only 2 free trials, 2 free stamp IDs. And like the previous one, I find it, if this is all the information it gives you, it doesn't give you anything but the most basic information. That doesn't get you very far.